Hello everyone and welcome to the July 21st update for Captain Stardust. This week we had 10 commits from 2 different contributors, which brings our lifetime commits to 347 from 11 lifetime contributors and 2 playtesters, and we just wrapped up week 20 of 21, so next week will be our last week. This week we had McFunkyPants come in and add in some city sound effects as well as some crowd sound effects and the relevant credits that he got them from. I went through and tightened up some mission timing along with the wording on missions so I could shorten up the amount of dead time in the game. I added some contingencies for some key mission items so that way if they ever clipped through the floor, then they would come up to a certain level so that way the player could keep doing the mission. I did some minor variable tweaks as well as added in McFunkyPants' traffic sounds across the map. I went through and created some pip sound effects for the world events, for the narrative events, for the objectives, and for the collectibles, as well as gave the key NPCs, the ones that talk to the player, their own voice. So with that, let's jump on into the game here. So I've turned up the volume a little bit, so you should be able to hear the background noise as well as the pip notifications that update whenever the objective marker is updated and whenever there is a new dialogue. So that little da-da-da, that is based on the player's voice. And then I went through and I tweaked it so the different characters have different speeds and different pitches of the same sound files. So that way it's a way to sort of give the illusion of multiple people talking. And then we also have 2 different key sound effects that are going on here. So if you're hanging out in downtown, you can hear a lot more of the car traffic, a lot more of the honking and that sort of thing. But if you get more into the less downtown area, then it transitions into more of a quiet, just sort of suburban type of sound. So it's a lot more of people talking in that aspect of it. And then if you make it all the way over to the port, then you can hear some deeper sound effects of the ships as they are loading and unloading their containers. So that is actually the same audio file as Downtown City, just pitched a little bit lower. So if you listen real closely, you could still hear car sound effects and that sort of thing in here. And then it's a lot softer if you get to the beach and that sort of thing. So that is in the game, but I wanted to express the different narrative voices that you can hear. So right here we have a trigger that will... let's get rid of this guy first. There we go. So we have a trigger right here that has different voices for different people. So that is 3 different voices, and that is coming from right over here. Right here, where if the text matches this player's voice, then you have this type of pitch with this type of multiplier. And then for Agent Bundle, she has a bit higher of a pitch. And then for Tommy, he has a bit higher of one compared to the professor, but a bit lower than the agent. If there is no text there, if we're shutting it off, then there is no audio. And then if there's any other people that I missed, then they have just a generic one. So that is in the game. If we were to bounce over to the Vikunja board, we are down to the last week, next week. So we're going to do a little bit more polish. We're going to tighten up some of the pink elements and use the black items and replace them with the pink ones that we have, as well as a couple more bugs. And if we get a little bit more audio, then we will gladly toss that in as well. So that is our weekly update for Captain Stardust.